Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Hub Los Angeles. If I can have your attention up front here. We are going to get started with our program for tonight. I know there's so many exciting conversations that are happening right now. I hate to interrupt them. We are going to get started for tonight, and we have a great program. First, I want to welcome you all to Hub Los Angeles, our first ever Civic Innovation Showcase event. Yeah. So unfortunately, one of our speakers broke. So you're going to have to kind of fill in, actually, closer the better, just because of the acoustics. So feel free to come in closer as we modulate sound a little bit here. So we have 7 amazing companies tonight, 6 of whom who are here, 1 that was ill and could not make it, that are showcasing here, and they're all Hub LA members. Can you hear me in the back right there? You can't hear me at all, can you? Right, okay. Come closer. We're working on the sound over at the soundboard. All right, I'm wondering if I can get down here closer. No, that's not gonna help. Anything? I don't know if that's gonna work. I think we just have to leave it. Okay, so tonight is about 7 amazing companies that are all innovating here in Los Angeles. It's dedicated to showcasing civic entrepreneurs. So these are the companies that are helping to change our city. They're helping to make access to resources and our communities more accessible. I think you've gotten to talk to a lot of them, and we're going to see short presentations up here. But first I want to just mention that tonight's also a celebration of our new My LA 311 app that was just launched by the City of LA. That you can now, I know, exciting. Our city is kind of moving into the 21st century here with this new great app. You can download it on iTunes. and there's a nice little YouTube video about what the app does. But you can access DWP resources and other services. So we are also, second, really excited to announce a new partnership tonight with the LA Chamber of Commerce. So the LA Chamber of Commerce, woo, they're here. And to talk about this partnership and this new tech center that's being launched at the LA Chamber of Commerce, I'm going to invite Linda BIDROSSIAN, who's the director, to come up on stage and share a little bit more about the partnership.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm gonna. Can I just talk to you guys? Can you hear me? I want to split my skirt up. Okay. Hi, everybody. You know, we weren't expecting this many people, so I was like, I'm not going to prepare anything. I'll just say a couple of words, but I cannot believe the turnout. All hands to all of you for coming here tonight and, you know, for being part of this event. So, big hand of applause. All right, so thanks a lot, Elizabeth, for the introduction. Linda BIDROSSIAN here, I'm the director of the Technology Center. But how many of you think Technology Center is sort of a boring name for this amazing new startup at the LA Chamber? Yes. So the Chamber is located on BIXEL Street, so our name is going to be BIXEL Exchange. How good is that? So the BIXEL Exchange, we're going to be partnering with Hub LA, this amazing location with its membership, and we're going to provide advisory support. So how many of you are startups in this room? Okay, a good number of you. Well, we're going to be providing expert advisors, and actually I've got one of my advisors here tonight. And also we're going to be doing our events such as this and other educational events that at the end of the day, what we want you to do is get the capital infusion that all of you need to basically launch your companies and run them successfully, and in addition, to be able to create jobs. So with that, I want to thank Elizabeth for this opportunity to be here tonight, and also to thank all of you for being part of the LA startup ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So the next thing that I would like to share is to start the presentations by the startups. So most importantly, this event here tonight is about a larger story of growing the community of startups here in Los Angeles that are dedicated to civic innovation. So all of you, by participating here tonight, have the opportunity to provide really great feedback to these companies. So these companies want to hear what you think about them. They want to know whether you understand what they're about. They want to know whether you see value in what they're doing. So this is an opportunity for you as a participant, as a city, as an Angelino, to give great feedback to platforms and apps that are going to change the way our city works. So in order to do that, we have these cards that are at all the tables for the entrepreneurs. And these cards get you two things. So at Hub LA, we talk a lot about a give-get. So the give is for you to fill out these cards and share your feedback with these companies and drop them off at the tables. Okay, so they're at every table. And the get is on the sheets that you grab that talk about the companies. Each company has offered all the participants, all the attendees here, something. So you can look on the sheet and see what you get from each of these companies. It could be a free consultation. It could be a new sort of access to one of their platforms for your organizations to try out. So please take a look at the sheet and fill out these cards as you're hearing them present up here. So you can grab one of these cards. All right, with that, I'm going to call Joe Rogers of At My Forum up to the stage to share about At My Forum and the innovations that are happening.
Hello, hello. All right. Silence! I'm just kidding. My name is Joe Rogers. And I am CEO of RGB Mobile. And we have a software as a service, thank you, called, oh, this, I gotta do this again. Silence! All right, just kidding. We have a software as a service called @MyForm. @MyForm allows you to take any paper form, scan it, upload it, we turn it into a mobile app and a fillable template. The paper goes away. So, what problem do we solve? Transactions in the field originate on paper by hand. They go back to the office, requires data entry, there's a delay, the person that was interested found a better deal, opportunity for stellar customer service is lost. Paper is rife with inefficiencies. Did you know that the average file cabinet costs $2,100 to maintain annually? Average time to retrieve and file a piece of paper is 10 minutes. And domestically, from an economic perspective, just the cost to go from a filled form into a back-end system rekeyed is $3 billion annually. So there are a lot of opportunities for savings. What if you could convert any paper form into a mobile app easily? The delay goes away, the labor goes away, the paper, all the copies goes away. Not to mention it's good for the environment. So @MyForm does all these things, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, you scan the paper, upload it to our mobilizer conversion engine. In minutes, the mobilizer turns it into a mobile app and a fillable template. If it's already a fillable PDF, then we don't have to do anything. And then it delivers it to you on your mobile device, your phone or your tablet. You can silence! So once you use the app to capture the data, we then marry that data with the form. And because we have the data, we can actually pass it into the back-end system. So the requirement for data entry goes away. Now let me describe this in a bit more detail. The person responsible for filling in the form, not IT, not the management, the guy who's responsible for filling in the form can scan it, upload it, get the mobile app back, use the mobile app to capture the data, and then commit the data to the PDF template and pass that data into the back-end system. Now, people in the past that would actually get that form via scan or fax, we actually transmit it to them electronically, so they have it immediately. And because we have the data, we can actually pass it into the back-end system, whether it's ERP, CRM, ECM, you name it. So, and up to this point, I've just talked about replacing the paper form. Because these are mobile devices, we have photo, we have film, or video rather, audio, geolocation. We can provide analytics around the transactions because we have the data. We can provide team collaboration. So, for example, patient intake in a doctor's office, the blood work goes out to a lab, there's a specialist, all the back and forth, the delay involved in that goes away completely. And as I mentioned, we have a growing library of interfaces to different systems. It could be Salesforce, QuickBooks, SAP, you name it. So the benefits, as I've already alluded to, it eliminates the delays and it enables incredible customer service, save time and expense from data entry. There's no need for rekeying, so the chance for typos goes away. Huge organizational, like re-engineering, process re-engineering opportunities, as well as environmental benefit, and just the issues of dealing with paper go away completely. There is no more paper. So, as you can imagine, the use cases are numerous. Say real estate credit check or auto loan finance, credit for a finance, auto loan finance scenario, insurance claim submission while on site, patient intake, as I alluded to earlier, inspection or scheduled maintenance. Whoa, that's not good. Let's see what happened. Okay, it died. So the inspection in a factory or a pipeline, and lastly, oh, here we go. Whoa, it's out of control. It's got a mind of its own. Let me catch up. And then anywhere along the supply chain, so with shipping or transportation. So, and that's a big one for any CFO that wants to recognize like revenue, knowing that something shipped like right then, as opposed to at the end of the day or end of the week or the month. It's huge. And from a Civic perspective, as if some of you may have come by our table, you would have seen a form that we mobilized from LA Department of Building and Safety. The use cases are endless. We also have a demo of a crime report, which we could actually do predictive policing in the scenario where a policeman goes from crime to crime, filling out a crime report. He has to go back to the headquarters to actually give that handwritten crime report to someone who then keys it in, and then maybe a day later finds out, oh, this person like did this. Well, now he's on site. He hits submit, the data goes up, National Crime Database, they get the response, oh, this guy's gonna be over here in 5 minutes. Go, anticipate him. It becomes possible. Inspections, investigations, zoning permits, there are a number of use cases. So, just to name a few. With that, that's the end of my 5 minutes. Thank you all for your time. Please stop by if you have any questions.
Thank you, Joe. Awesome. So again, we have those cards over by Joe's table. So fill out the card and say what you thought would be really valuable. Thank you. So the next person is Jordan Sims from iSocialite. All right, Jordan. You just hit the arrow. Yeah? Yeah, just hang on for a minute. Here. It's a little slow. Katie's going to do that.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, you can just press here.
Make sure you tap right into the mic because
You can't hear in the back? Okay. Maybe I should just use this guy.
Even that's not advanced yet.
I'm just going to use that, yeah. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? Woo! All right. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for coming out tonight. If I could get everybody to be quiet for just a moment. My name is Jordan Sims, and I'm the COO of Dreamwear, and I'm here to talk to you about our product, iSocialite. What do we do? If you haven't seen us, we're over in the booth over here, so feel free to come visit us. iSocialite is a mobile app platform that helps make public spaces more accessible. How many of you guys have a tablet or a smartphone? By raising your hands. All right, pretty much everybody in here. How many of you are places and you just end up looking down at it? And you're just locked in? Yeah, Joaquin does. So really what we want to do in simple terms is help people raise their heads up and connect with organizations and each other in the real world. That's what we're all about. We are a mobile community management tool, as I said, to help activate spaces. And it doesn't want to advance. Okay, so it's just going slow. So how we do it. Really, data analytics is at the heart of what we do. Now, data analytics is a really, really horrible and boring term that I try not to use that much. But so you understand, what we really do is give you weekly micro information about your customers' real-time use of your space and of your product to help you inform macro business decisions. As I said, we're leveraging the power of the little computers that everybody has on them to connect people in real time. We are a mobile platform, again, connecting organizations to their customers. And really the key thing is facilitating dialogue as well as transactions in both the real and virtual worlds. So I think to make our case a little bit better, I want to walk you guys through a few case studies. So I'm going to show you how iSocialite could be applied to a library, for example, LA Public Library System, as well as a park system. So right now, most organizations are using websites as well as a bunch of different social media platforms to engage with their clients. And iSocialite is a really easy way to bottle all of those needs into one place. The library itself, in this case, would get specifics about the time and the duration of patron visits. They would also get information about the actual resources that people are using. So that could be genres of books that people are checking out, what events they're attending. We have a patent pending technology that will check people into events, as well as check them out without them needing to click anything, just by them showing up. And then, so what does this mean for the patron? The patron could pay fines. They could, in one tap, rent items or rooms, as well as share their activities with friends on social media. We'll move to the parks example. And I'll tell you about the parks, even though it's not coming up. So city parks, for city parks, iSocialite is better than surveys because you're getting real information on actual usage of the facilities. And again, it can be used to collect fees, as well as getting micro data on programming. And again, this makes it really, really easy for the park goer. I'm a soccer person. I was always looking for ways to have ad hoc soccer games. This would be a perfect way to do that, for example. So what are the benefits of iSocialite for these types of organizations? I said one-tap payments, so increasing revenue to show what's most valuable to your customers, for example. Again, they're getting real data on the attendance and the duration of each guest stay. So you can actually target your marketing a little bit better, and you can even create better programming because you already know what people are interested in. One of the other really cool things is a revenue generating opportunity as well. So, for example, using a park, they could sell ad space to a local business that's relevant, right? Or if you wanted to, you could just promote what you're already doing because you'll know what they're interested in. So if you're not one of these organizations, how could this work for you? If you were a college or a university, for example, you still have spaces to activate and you want to curate conversations. If you're a nonprofit, you would want to push out programming. You could use iSocialite to fundraise, as well as solicit volunteers for projects. And then you can keep your participants engaged as well. You never want to leave them without anything to do. So, just to summarize, we're a mobile platform, as I said, iSocialite, that helps make public spaces more accessible. We're providing weekly microdata to help you make macro business decisions. We're recruiting for businesses to be a part of our private beta. We're over here. Mike, my CEO and co-founder, is here as well, so please come talk to one of us, and we'll give you more information. Thank you.
All right, next up we have iSocialite, Mike Colosimo. We have third place. We just finished iSocialite. Third place is up next with Mike Colosimo. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Thank you. Psyched to be here. Thank you, Liz and Ann and the Hub and the Chamber and everybody who's involved in this. So I'm going to make this as brief as I can make it. I know everybody wants to talk, and we all have booths, so come talk to us at our station, and we can give you all kinds of better information. So real quickly, third place is a resourcing and storytelling platform for community improvement projects. We know, I gotta get my timing down here. We know that So we know that organizations are facing, in government in particular, are facing some challenges. There's decreasing traditional resources. We don't have the capital to just throw around like we used to. There's a higher demand for transparency. Consumers are looking for companies to better explain how they're corporate citizens. Like how many of you people in the audience actually can tell me a brand that has impacted your local community? Thank you to Coven. He's my co-founder. So that's part of the problem, right? These brands and cities are doing amazing work. They're putting a ton of resources into neighborhoods. Nobody really knows what they do. They don't have any way to capitalize on that. And the list of challenges within all of our neighborhoods isn't getting any smaller. So what do we do? So we have built a crowdsourcing integrates crowdfunding, volunteerism, and material sharing into one place. So you have a garden to build. You can raise $500, 15 people, a wheelbarrow, 2 rakes, and a shovel on a Saturday, all from one place. And you can very instantly be mobile and web real quickly. So as we build a lot of these projects and people contribute to those projects, every time somebody donates money, every time somebody signs up to volunteer, we create social content around it that helps those stories about what you do in your local community, what the organization does in the local community, get into the places where people are looking. So we get a lot of projects going on, and somebody like the city of LA has any number of 25, 30, 40, 50 projects going on at any time. They can aggregate those individual project stories into a page that they can share their collective impact, their total impact as a business, that allows you as a user to just go experience real quickly, say, oh, this is cool. I can see how the city of LA is impacting at a regional level, but then I can also really quickly see locally what they're doing in my neighborhood and how I can be involved. And that model sort of applies across different segments. So the cool part about what we do is that we allow the city or any organization, for that matter, to really bring in different players into their story. So they can have different organizations within their business managing and maintaining their own projects. They can bring in corporate partners, their employee volunteerism, citizen-led projects, and they can tell stories in a lot of different ways, but ultimately they want to know what's going on and be able to tell a story at the highest level. So what's a platform like this without data? Like, everybody has data. It's cool. It's a dashboard. Tells you who engaged socially, where those channels are, who the people are, where they live, all kinds of interesting demographic data about those people. So real quickly, just a couple use case scenarios so we can give a... We're live. Whole Foods uses it. Every one of their stores manages their own projects. They execute their own projects. They run their projects through our platform, and then they can aggregate it as a company and say, as a company, this is the work that we do across the world, UK, Canada, and the US. Social Justice Learning Institute. It's a nonprofit here in LA. They're building 100 gardens in Inglewood over the next 7 months. They're using Third Place to do it. They plot all those projects, locally supported projects on local land. D'Artagnan Scores is a Hub LA member. He's awesome. And then the governments are playing a really interesting role in linking these organizations together and creating really interesting public-private partnerships that bring brand resources, nonprofit resources, citizen resources into the table to create cool things in the ground and really improve our community. So how can you get involved? Real simply, come talk to us. We're giving away free licenses for you to try it out. And we have some friends here from the Goldhurst Foundation. I just met them over there in the corner. They're sitting in the shadow. Thank you for putting on this competition. You can support us there. We would love that support. So if you have any questions, I'm Mike, my co-founder DeCoven, Woody. We're over here in the corner. Come say hi to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike. Okay, and next we have Ami from Inventure. Come on up, Ami.
Hi, everyone. My name is AMIGOS, and I am the Director of Strategy for Inventure. We are a mobile credit scoring and accounting platform that works through basic SMS. So just before I begin, if one of us wanted to go rent an apartment or buy a car, the first thing that someone would do was check our credit score. But for 10 million people around the US, they don't have a credit score. They don't have a bank account. So we developed this technology basically to create a financial identity for people that do not have this access to the formal financial system. So basically we're trying to take this kind of paper accounting to something that can be done through a basic feature phone. So I'm sure a lot of us or most of us have smartphones, but 70% of the market for phones is still actually basic feature phones. So our technology works through basic SMS and voice technology. So just to give you an overview of the way our products work, Insight is our mobile technology. This works through SMS and voice, as I mentioned. We take the data that's collected in real time, and it's inputted into this algorithm. And through that algorithm, we generate a score. And our partner institutions then accept this score to, whether it's to lend or to provide discounts on particular services and products to our clients. Our partners can also, and actually the end user, can log into a dashboard, which I'll show you really briefly at the end, and you can track in real time how you're doing, whether it's for your expenses, for your targeted savings. So basically, I explained this. This is how it works. We gather this data on spending patterns, on credit history, on demographics, and then for the user themselves, they can pull their income statements at any time. We can provide qualitative advice on if they seem to be spending a lot on a certain thing that they could cut back on. We demonstrate their credit worthiness, and basically this is just providing basic financial literacy. And again, access to things like loans, to particular services and products, which I'll explain how we connect them. So from a citizen perspective, the first thing is we're providing this financial literacy, this basic accounting tool. Second, people can have particular savings that they set or budgets, and then that can then connect them to things like education. Let me give you an example. I think we're going to do a demo of the 311 app, but we can see what payments are for utility bills. So if we see that people are spending a lot on utilities certain months, we can recommend ways to cut back. We can recommend alternative energy products, discounts on these products that they can buy. You can come over to our table to do a demo, but basically how it works is we have a local number that you can send an SMS to. You input your revenue and then your expenses in these different categories. So from the organizational perspective, so whether this is a government organization, whether it's a nonprofit or a financial institution, the benefits are, one, you can provide this value-added service to your clients. Two, you can have a better understanding of what the needs are of your clients. So if you're a financial institution, you can, one, assess how risky a certain person can be. If you're a company that's providing like medical services, a nonprofit, you can see where people tend to be spending higher in, and they can target market to that area. And then again, you have a way of measuring your actual impact. So this is just very briefly what our dashboard looks like. You can come over to our table and see a demo. We can see where people started, once they started using our technology, how their patterns changed. And even for, I've started using this technology, and just to see how much I'm spending every day on these different things really helps me to actually changes my spending habits. So you can see one on a micro level for individuals, and then on a macro level for a community. So basically our technology is just helping you to better understand the needs of your clients and to create more empowered citizens. Thanks.
Thank you, Ami. Okay, and next we have Christine Outram from Bus Beautiful. Is this your starting slide? Yeah? The previous one? Okay, go back one. Christine is from City Innovations Group. And if I could just get you, we have Christine and one more. So if I could just get you to, thank you, Kevin, that was lovely. Here's Christine Outram. Thanks.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening, everyone. I can see you all in the back, so come close. You know, why is everyone so far away? I'm Christine Outram. I founded a little think tank group a few years ago. And I'm also a senior inventionist at Deutsche LA. And I'm here because once we switch the slide. Yeah. Oh. I like to make stuff. And I like to make stuff that is at this intersection of cities, human experience, and data. That's the kind of area that I play in. And some of the previous projects that I've worked on, I'm going to give you a little bit of background because I can. I think we're having a problem loading here. A few years back, I built this, with a team of people at MIT, built this electric bike called the Copenhagen Wheel. And it basically is an electric motor that pushes you over hills, but it also has a number of sensors embedded in it. So we were really fascinated by capturing information about carbon monoxide, about noise level, about NOx, about distances traveled. And a lot of what is it working? Okay. A lot of what we... Hello? Yeah. A lot of what we initially did was visualize this data on a map, and that kind of got fascinating for a while. Some of the other things we've done is these great urban hackathons. You know, we bring a lot of city data together and we get people to hack things. We did this in Singapore and we had lots of people, lots of hours, looking at things like taxi data, transportation data, energy usage data, and putting those on a map. I'm almost getting there. Thinking about data again, we spent a bit of time wondering what happens to the removal chain. We all know everything about the supply chain. We know nothing about what happens when you throw things away. So again, this was at MIT. We put 3,000 tags on pieces of trash to see where they went. And we distributed this in Seattle, and this is what happened. This is where all the electrical waste went. But I got to tell you, this is getting to the point. I kind of got bored of visualizing data. I was like, that's pretty and all, that's great. You know, you can put it on a map, it's very exciting. But what was really more interesting for me was thinking about how data is used in everyday life and how it's actually going to be of practical use to us. And that's where this project comes in. I was lucky enough to run a workshop last year on augmented reality in the smart city. And there's a few people in the audience who are in that workshop. And there we came up with an idea for how to make the experience of catching the bus even more beautiful. And that's where Bus Beautiful comes in. So we start with a premise that, you know, it shouldn't just be information on a map. We should have interaction with information that should be beautiful. And the story so far is it's probably one that you know. You've been standing at the bus stop, you're waiting for the bus to come, you have no idea when it's coming. Perhaps you have a smartphone, you know, you can pull that out of your pocket and, you know, you can look at that and you can find out when the next bus is coming. But this is what a typical app looks like for finding when the bus is. You have to enter the bus stop number. I don't know about you, but I rarely know which bus stop number I'm at. Then you have to scroll through all of these lists of, you know, of which bus is actually going to come to you. And I just think this interaction is absolutely horrible. So as a group, what we did is we came up with a new interaction for catching the bus. It's pretty simple. It's a branded sticker that goes on a pole. It's a branding opportunity for the city. You hold your phone up to it. It recognizes the image. And then it uses a bit of computer vision to place when the next bus is coming over. And it's very simple. You can scroll through this really super intuitively, you know, it's nice kind of sexy interface. And then dig down a little deeper about where you are, where the next bus is. You know, you can see that on a map and scroll through that. So that was our light version. Then we also got to thinking about what happens if we use an existing bus and rail system map. A lot of cities these days are deploying LED signs for when the next bus is coming. But, you know, this becomes a cheaper way to use the existing infrastructure that's already in the city. In this case, again, we hold our phone up to the map, and it's using image recognition and this time you can actually see the bus traveling towards you. And this is about making connections. You know, it's about the commute and understanding which bus you should actually catch next. Again, kind of digging deeper into this, you can see which bus is where you are and where the bus comes back to you. So that's it. That's Bus Beautiful. We're creating a little prototype right now. We're, not incorporated as a startup. We do this stuff for fun. And you can come see me over there at the table, and we can talk more about cities and data and apps and all that stuff that I love to talk about. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Christine. All right, and last but definitely not least, we have Jeff from Ride Amigos. Thank you. Come on up.
Thank you. I'm recording this for my grandmother, so if everyone could be really quiet. This is, not everyone heard that. Shh. All right, 5 minutes. So my name is Jeffrey Chernick. I am the CEO of Ride Amigos Corp. We're a transportation software company that works with local governments, cities, and large organizations to help reduce traffic through different transportation demand management programs. So very quickly, we're going to take you through a little tour of Ride Amigos. So first things first, there are a lot of choices when it comes to transportation. So instead of looking them all individually, like typical transit websites, we've aggregated them all. So we'll license our platform to, let's say, Century City TMO. And they have a trip planner that aggregates all local modes of transportation, and we can compare and contrast them all. Why do we do that? Because it's interesting to know that it's actually 4 minutes faster to bike than take the bus. I didn't know that. That might change my behavior. It is not free to drive alone. There's gas costs, there's insurance costs, and I definitely didn't know there were 4 carpools in my area, or maybe van pools. Going one step further, what carpools are people who work in my company, who work in my building, my region, my community? And then using Esri, which is probably the best mapping company in the world, we overlay that data with live traffic data and interesting pertinent points of interest, like park and ride, shower facilities, bike lockers. And as transportation evolves in a community, we actually can put new ways of getting around, like zip cars and lifts and sidecars and Ubers or bike shares. So you're really just creating a one-stop mobility hub for a region. So does it work in the Century City program where 44,000 people are coming in and out every day to a 1 by 1 square mile? We've seen month-over-month growth every month since inception. And you can get really interesting maps out of it when you start overlaying census data to see where everyone is going in Century City, even specific buildings. So next question is, how do you incentivize and track people and see that it's working? So in Redmond, Washington, and this is part of the program, but this is a good example, we had CommuteRedmond.com, which is a 6-week biking competition during May. So first, give them a scorecard. Allow people to see how they're doing compared to their peers. Based on the Foursquare model, start giving them virtual badges. So essentially, the first time you carpool, for example, get a virtual badge, it shows up in your account, and share that badge on Facebook and Twitter to show your community that you're doing something good and continuing that viral factor. Easy ways to trip log, web-based, mobile-based, just allow people to log those trips so they can get those points. And then going one step further, create an entire competition. Redmond used teams of 10. Santa Monica does it with companies. Ladera Ranch in Orange County is residential, so they're doing it by village. And allow people to see how they're doing against everyone else. How do we do? Over 54 million calories burned, $17,000 of gas saved, 90,000 bike miles, really, really kind of game-changing results. But we just received an Esri Award for most innovative application with this map. We created an innovative tool and put all of those bikers on a map with the green dots, where they were going to, the employers, the blue dots, overlaid with the existing biking infrastructure. So urban planners of the city can actually see, does the biking infrastructure work with my biking community? We also do surveys. It's a complete survey tool. It's required in a lot of companies in Los Angeles. I'm not going to go through that, but I will show you, again, put those survey results on a heat map to show your densities of where people are coming from and where they're going to, and find out where van pool opportunities, where can I create shuttles, buses, carpools. A little brief tidbit on new technologies we're working on. Pain, getting real-time data. We have a mobile app that tracks your trip live without draining your battery to basically log all of your trips automatically for analysis. Paying traffic to and from events. We have a multimodal tool which is used by event planners all over the country, including the Grammys to show people who's getting to the event. Sometimes bigger festivals, which are people coming from all over the country. This is by county, about 700 people going to Lucidity Festival. And then lastly, paying, hassle and marketing alternative modes to individuals that are relevant to those modes. So you're not marketing biking to people living 20 miles outside of your city. Again, another cluster map. So we're clustering where people are coming from. It could be toggled by mode, by company, by department, by day, by time. And with that, that's a little tidbit about Ride Amigos. And thank you, Hub LA. And this is my information. I'm the Chief Ride Amigo. Thanks.
So you just heard in really concise form, thank you for all the entrepreneurs that just presented in such succinct fashions about all the work that they've been doing. A few summary points here. Most of all these startups are urbanists. They're people that have technical backgrounds in urban planning, in economic development. We're seeing a new wave of entrepreneurs that are using technical skills to create value and new kind of companies in Los Angeles and beyond. The other interesting takeaway is this new wave of tech companies for change or for good that are connecting people and place via online apps or platforms. So we're starting to see the virtual actually enhance even more our physical interactions and being in space together, which I think is really exciting for me, having created a physical location where people actually come together face to face. I still think that we're not going to be able to replace the face-to-face interaction, which is 80% of all communication happens through seeing each other and looking each other in the eyeballs. So I'm really excited about this new crop of companies. They're all Hub LA members. And we're excited to be able to resource companies like this that are on the cutting edge of social innovation and change. So please talk to myself or any of my team about more information about what it means to become a part of the Hub LA community and the resources that we can provide you. Last but not least, I want to thank our premier sponsor who's helped make tonight possible. It is probably one of the best examples of a tech for change company that has scaled. So Zipcar, I just want to give a big hand to Zipcar, who's helped make tonight possible. They're set up in the back. And also the food was brought to you by a great local company called Local Eye. So if you enjoyed some of the great food tonight, that was our food sponsor, Local Eye. Our drinks tonight were Vive cocktails. So anyone who enjoyed Vive and some great wine also. And then we also have NPlug and TechZulu to thank for our NPlug is our interactive live Twitter stream to kind of bring some more technology into the event. And TechZulu also is a sponsor. So we've been doing this live stream. So there's a camera actually up in the back. So this has been being live streamed. And last but not least, our compostables. So the dinner plates and everything that you've eaten off of were provided by World Centric. So we try to be as green as possible during our events. So thank you for donating those. So with that, I want to conclude this part of the program. Feel free to hang out and mingle and talk to the companies. Again, these forums are at every table. So I know you're having great conversations, and the entrepreneurs would love to take away your feedback in a card form. And this is also the way that they can follow up with you on the things that they're giving away here tonight. So once again, thank you guys for coming out tonight and making this such a great first ever Civic Innovation Showcase at Hub LA. Thank you.